Hey dudes, welcome back to the mothership. It is early November out here in New England, and I'm gearing up for a trip north next weekend for the beginning of my hunting season. You know, we've had a couple months already of bow season, but we're moving into rifle season, particularly up north, and then eventually I'll head out west. But I need to go up to the outfitter store, Cabela's out here, pick up some extra gear, some different gear. And you know, I was kind of thinking this might be a good time to do a video I've been thinking about doing for a while, and it's a question. It comes from a question that I know a lot of people have when they're looking at these little Sportsters, these Iron 883s, and it relates to how do they feel and how do they work on the interstate. So we're about to get on a minor interstate and then get onto a big interstate here, and I figure I would give you my thoughts Now, I don't know, since I haven't actually recorded on the highway like this, I don't know what this is going to sound like, guys. So I might have to dub over it later, just letting you know, but here we go. Alright, so we're shifting up into traffic, no problems yet. You know, I'm going about as fast as any car would be going here. We're fifth gear at 60, which is about the appropriate speed limit for this road here, this interstate road here. It's not a massive road. We're gonna get out in front of this guy right here. You know, the first thing you're gonna notice when you're riding on a bike like this is its weight. This is a light bike, right? This thing weighs maybe 570 wet, which is not exactly going to keep the wind from moving you around. But you know, it's handling itself. I could go much faster right now if I really wanted to. This bike is ready to go. Initial thoughts, you know, if you're taking a bike out on the highway, on specifically this bike, you're not going to want to do it for very long. It's not going to be great. This bike really wasn't made to be a highway cruiser. That's just a fact. Can you do it? Well, you know, I'm going realistically above the speed limit here, and it's not killing me. It's not bad. Would I want to be doing it for, you know, an hour and a half in traffic every day? Probably not. I'm really hoping you guys can hear this, because I feel like this is going to be real windy. So now we're going to get onto a much faster highway here. One thing just happened right there. That's a brake check. So we had to go down pretty quick. So this bike handled that fine. The brakes on this bike are fine for the weight that we're working with. It doesn't have the dual in the back, but it does just fine for slowing down this little bike. Now we're gonna do a bit more acceleration and some more sustained top speed, and I'll keep up some of this footage in, even if you can't hear it, just so you see what it's like to ride on this bike. Now remember, children, always look both ways before you merge into traffic. This gentleman is giving me a little bit of space. Also note that my bike is broken in, so I don't mind hitting the RPMs a little bit higher than you probably should on a new Harley. But yeah, I mean, the wind and everything isn't hitting me enough where I feel uncomfortable being on this bike on the highway. Can I do this for, hell, even an hour? Sure. Have I done it for, you know, 45 minutes, an hour at a time? Yeah, it's doable. You know, it's soft tail would be better, because, you know, essentially if you're looking at weight, right? If you're looking at driving a big Volvo SUV versus a little Corolla, one of them is going to get slapped around by the wind a bunch more than the other one. So, can it do it? Yes. Is it made for it? I don't think so. But I'm doing it right now. I'm going out to the store. It's not a huge deal. We're going to whip around some traffic a little bit here. Now, it's worth pointing out that I'm pushing a number that starts with a number that has an 8 in it, let's just say. You can probably see my speedo. And I was at about 4,000 RPM. So this bike really does work a little bit to get going, more so than your other bikes out there, specifically your soft tails and your cruisers, and obviously more so than the bigger Sportsters. But it's doing it. If I had to pick a speed, honestly, that this is most comfortable riding in, it's probably under 70. It's probably about 65 to 70 is like that sweet spot where I'm still getting buffeted around by the wind a little bit, but it's not too uncomfortable where I couldn't do it for too long. I mean, I'm also right behind a truck, which is obviously where you don't want to be. So we're actually going to fix that right here by getting in front of this car, because driving behind a truck, guys, is a no-no. In fact, driving anywhere near a truck sucks, so we're going to get out in front of this guy. Now, I fully expect at least some of you guys out there are going to make a comment about being a masshole, and I accept it. I live in New England. I've learned to drive in New England, so my driving skills and style definitely reflect my my upbringing, guys. So sorry. Make some room for these dudes. Now, if it's your first time, you know, if this is your first bike and this is your first time getting on the highway, I very much recommend not doing it around 4:30 like we are right here, because that's, you know, that's rush hour. So try and get away from as many people as you can, and you know, take it slow. Go in the slow lane, get a feel for what your bike can do and what you feel comfortable doing. I'm a bigger guy. I can control this bike pretty damn easily. If you're smaller, you know, it's gonna buffet you around a little bit, especially at highway speeds, but it's certainly capable. You know, this isn't a scooter, guys. This is a bike that'll get you where you want to go. It's not ideal. I think I've made that clear. This is not an ideal bike for me on the highway. If I was going to do sustained highway riding, this is 100% not the bike that I would pick. And if I upgrade motorcycles in the future, it probably will be because of the highway riding, to be completely honest. That kind of shows you just how I feel about being able to jump on the highway and you know, cruise out to my brother who lives about 2 hours away, that kind of thing. It just isn't, it's not really an enjoyable experience on this bike. Plenty of people have done it. I know people have gone, I know people, not personally, but I know people have gone across the country on, you know, little Sportsters. It's doable. It's just not what it's made for. You bought this bike to whip around town and go on back roads. You didn't buy it to go cruise down the highway for 2 hours. But, you know, back to what I was saying. If you're a new rider and you're going to get on the highway, pick a time that's not packed. Pick a time where it's nice and warm, because you're going to get colder than if you're riding the back roads just from the out of wind. Pick a time where it's not wet. You know, ideal riding conditions, and take a speed that you're comfortable with, and that's about it. You know, just jump on, try it out. As far as like a safety perspective, you know, one of my biggest fears when I first started riding was highway riding, because I thought, you know, you're going faster and it's so much more dangerous, which in an event of a crash, going highway speeds is definitely more dangerous than going normal speeds. I mean, that's definitely true. However, I would say that you're not worrying about people pulling into traffic here. You're not worried about people who just aren't paying attention as much. I mean, they're not paying attention, they're on their phones, like everyone. But it's not as bad as some of the scenarios I've been in, you know, rush hour traffic in back roads where people are on cruise control, ready to watch the football game and have a beer after work. People are going in a straight line generally here, and they're not whipping around, coming into traffic, leaving traffic, etc. So that's what I would say to people that say that highway riding is essentially dangerous, or more dangerous. Hey Cardo, radio off. So I don't know if I'll keep that in or not, but so I have one of the Cardo pack tops, so I can listen to music and so I can communicate with the show friend Tony. Now I could put out a video on that. I'm not as thrilled with it as I feel like I should be, but I don't know if during this conversation, if I had said something because it turned the radio on, which I didn't actually notice until I just got off the highway there. Oops. So I apologize if you guys are listening to either static or whatever the default crappy station is. Because who listens to FM and AM radio? I mean, let's be honest. So we are in, we're up 495 in Massachusetts, going to Cabs here in Cabela's. And yeah, guys, I mean, that was my highway trip. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was, you know, it's always fun. I like going on the highway. I love going speedy and just whipping around and having fun. I hope you guys got something out of it. You know, our top speed was, let's just say it was a fairly decent amount above the posted limit, which is unsafe. Don't do that, guys. But if we chalk that up as an educational thing, we can say that I just showed you guys that this bike, which we know is a less capable Sportster, is perfectly capable to go on and off the highway if you need to. That said, my thoughts, I think I made clear in this video, are that it is not the ideal bike for going off on the highway for multiple trips, or multiple hour trips. Hell, even an hour is probably pushing it. You know, if you guys disagree with me, if you guys agree with me, if you got something out of this, if you're just looking to see, you know, what my thoughts were on going on the highway, I hope you guys got something out of this. You know, I hope if you guys have something specifically you want me to do, you know, my bike, you know, some of the bikes I'm affiliated with, you know, drop me a comment, guys. Tell me what you're looking for. Send me a message, you know, comments, likes, and you know, that subscription button really helps this channel grow. I can't stress that enough. It takes you guys, you know, a quarter of a second, and it really helps me legitimize the channel and grow it a bit more, so I can keep putting out cool content for you guys. So you know, that being said, guys, ride safe, and I'll see you later.